Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and I've talked about this before, but I have to come back to it again because currently the federal uh, level is having this debate. Congress is actually debating a federal red flag law. We even have Republicans saying they support it, and there is a very simple premise to this that proves it is a horrible idea, and that is the person accused is stripped of their Second, Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendment rights. You see, not only are their firearms taken away, they are judged guilty by a court that never sees them. You're not allowed to present your own evidence. Your property is seized without a trial, without anything. You're judged guilty without ever setting foot in that courtroom. You're not allowed to plead the fifth. You're not allowed a speedy public trial. You're not allowed to present any evidence on your own behalf. You are literally judged as guilty. You are judged in absentia without even knowing you should have been in court. Now, in Maryland, where this is already law, has been for almost a year, we've already had someone shot and killed because someone accused them of being dangerous. A judge ruled that, okay, fine, they're dangerous without allowing them to make their own case or present evidence. Police were told this person is dangerous. They bang on the door, possibly bash it in, demanding that this person hand over their guns, and when they don't, they shoot and kill him. If I remember this right, there were actually no threats issued by the man accused and ultimately killed. He simply won a verbal argument. He won a debate. If this happens at the federal level, imagine posting that you've just joined your local competition marksmanship team, and someone decides, I don't like that. That means they're out shooting guns all the time. I feel threatened by that. You're at the southern tip of Florida, and someone at the northern tip of Alaska says, well, I feel threatened. They've never met you, never seen your face other than possibly online. They've never spoken to you. They know nothing about you other than they see a post where you've joined a competition marksmanship team. They decide, I feel threatened. They report that. A judge never speaks to you. You don't even know what's happening. A judge rules that you are a danger because there is no evidence to the contrary. Police show up, order you to surrender all firearms. You've now been stripped of your Sixth Amendment rights. You had no trial. Fifth Amendment rights. You were not even allowed to say, I plead the Fifth. Fourth Amendment rights, unreasonable search and seizure. Your property's gone. And your Second Amendment rights. Sure, you're allowed to later request that this be appealed, that this be overturned or reversed, but no judge worth their salt would ever reverse a ruling like this. Because all it takes is that one of them reversing a ruling, and that person then being involved in some altercation that would not have happened had that ruling been there. And that judge is now off the bench and possibly charged as an accomplice. They're all thinking this. They're all thinking it doesn't matter, no matter what you say. You could literally go before the court and say, this person has attacked me multiple times. They've put me in the hospital twice. They've tried to run me down with their car. And now they've said I'm the threat. Well, I'm sorry, we didn't have any evidence to the contrary, and we can't reverse the ruling. There's no due process there. You are stripped of, at minimum, 4 of your constitutional rights. And you don't even know it until someone shows up to take your property by force. This is what liberals, what Democrats want, because it allows them to say, oh, you own a firearm, well, that makes you dangerous. Oh, you joined the NRA, that makes you dangerous. Oh, you voted for Trump, that makes you dangerous. Oh, you're a Christian, you believe in what I think is stupid, so that makes you dangerous. The insanity of these laws literally allows, I don't like the shirt you're wearing, I feel threatened by that shirt. I'm going to report you. Meanwhile, we have Hollywood releasing a movie next year, actually this year, where liberals kidnap, drug, and gag conservatives, drop them off where they don't know where they are, and hunt them for sport. The very people screaming, we don't need guns, we don't need guns, we don't need guns. I'm going to make a movie where I kill people with guns because their political beliefs are different than mine. Notice the actual artwork here. Literally says, only designated people may be hunted at the manor. People may be hunted. This is the hypocrisy of modern society. The very people screaming that the inanimate object known as a firearm is the only reason that criminals kill people, ignoring the bludgeonings that happen with hammers, or the bombings, or people running them down with cars, or DWIs, strangling, stabbings, acid attacks, any number of other ways that people are killed. No, it's only that evil inanimate object known as a firearm. But let's make a movie where we use them to kill the people who don't want to give them up. You don't think Orwell was a prophet? Read 1984 again. Because this is quite literally his society. You are disarmed and you are not allowed to complain. People are taken out and killed for being a danger to society. We have a problem of conscience and a problem of heart. Okay? I don't ever fail to denounce evil when I see it. El Paso, Dayton, the festival in California, going all the way back as far as Columbine or Pulse, Sandy Hook, any of them. Every single one of them, an evil person used a tool to rob people of their innocence and their life. But I will never say that that inanimate object is the reason they did it. One need only look at the Bath school massacre to know that someone who wants to kill will kill, regardless of what weapons they may have. MS-13 regularly stabs people multiple times. The Boston Marathon bomber used a pressure cooker, a kitchen appliance. Timothy McVeigh used common fertilizer and a Ryder truck. The 9/11 hijackers used commercial airliners and box cutters. If someone is so evil and so intent upon committing that evil upon the world, no lack of a tool will stop them. There has been evil on this planet since mankind first realized that they had some kind of power over another being. You go back far enough, and you will find people long before modern language or thought even graced the planet were killed with rocks and sticks, bow and arrow, spear, sword, gunpowder in the form of a rocket or bomb, cars, poison. It is not the tool used that by some unearthly magic causes a possession or a twisting of the mind that makes someone want to kill. That desire, that evil desire to rob someone of their life was there before they acted, before they had access to said tools. Now, I firmly believe anyone who is diagnosed properly by a mental health professional as having a mental illness, that needs to be looked at. I don't believe that being a member of the NRA or being a Christian or being a Republican is a mental illness, although I'm sure there are people who will tell you it is. I believe that if someone is a violent criminal and they have been properly convicted in a court of law where they were allowed to defend themselves or had a defense mounted as they have a right to, then that person should not have access to tools that make violence easier. I personally think they should not be a part of society. Unfortunately, that happens all too often where they are released from prison and they're right back out committing their evil on the world again. There is no quick fix to this, but these red flag laws are as far from a fix as we will ever get. Because like I said, remember, they rob you not only of your Second Amendment rights, but of your Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendment rights. The search and seizure is unreasonable because you weren't told ahead of time that you were being charged with this. You're just told you've been found guilty. You were judged in absentia because we didn't tell you you were being judged. You don't have the chance to say, I plead the fifth, if you were wanting to. And you were not given any form of trial. You were told later, you can try to convince me that I was wrong in judging you when I didn't let you speak. I don't know anyone with half a brain that says telling someone they've been found guilty and convicted without ever even knowing it was happening is right. And I pray daily this fails utterly in the Senate. But make no mistake, this is the end goal of the elite in the country. And that is making every move they can to seize enough power to be able to go to a judge and say, let me do what I want. And the day that happens is the day freedom and liberty die. There's nothing really more I can say. I do want to hear your thoughts. As always, remember to remain civil, remain polite. We can disagree while not turning into 4-year-olds having an argument on the playground. I've said it before, I will say it again. If you prove to just be a pedantic child, I'll ignore you. If you prove to be unworthy of being included, I will block you. If you simply disagree, I will ask you to make your argument, and then I will make mine, and we will go back and forth, and we will speak to each other as adults. We may agree to disagree. We may walk away from it. One of us may convince the other. We may go on endlessly for decades, being forced to go back and research and make another point. But as long as we do so civilly, logically, and politely, there's no problem with that. Make sure please to also subscribe, like the video, and share it so we can expand the conversation. I am planning a couple of things. One has caught my eye on a psychology and sociology topic that I've seen, I've brushed on in classes and other thought experiments, and I want to bring it to you. Other things are coming to mind. Other things are catching my attention. So definitely you'll want to be subscribed so that you're going to stay up to date on all of those. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.